Okay, I had a bit of a problem with my videos, so I kind of lost the rest of the portion, but I just show you the end, just shooting the archers into this ring, and I'm just going to speed up ×3 speed, and well, they're just shooting into the center. They should be trying to shoot at the rear of the sacred band. If I can just find an archer. Let's see. No. These guys would be trying to be shooting at, well, they're facing the wrong direction here. Are these guys shooting? No, they ran out of arrows. You can tell because they have swords. These guys have swords. So who's shooting the arrows then? Well, it doesn't seem anybody shooting the arrows. Well, they're shaken, but these guys are winded, so everybody's probably playing at ×3 speed now and waiting till they're fresh. So he's trying to chase, and here's the combat. Throw their sacred band, sheer number should rout them, and that's it. It's a close victory, and that's the end of this battle. Hello, I'm just carrying on with this video just to show you the interplay between skirmish factions and, I suppose you can call it, defending factions. And obviously, in order to be a defending faction, you need to skirmish against something. So it's pretty obvious that these two guys have taken two defensive factions against two skirmishing factions. But the thing I want to show is how to defend against skirmishing properly. So in this case, this guy, Zeke from the CW clan, he's got a very good defensive formation here against a skirmishing faction, which is in this case Egypt, played by Scorpy. That's our CDR. But if you look here, this is an example of a very bad skirmishing formation. Plus he's, well, put his fellow archers a little bit god out of place. So if you look here, his fellow archers specifically in fire arrows against Egyptian carrots. But more importantly, I want you to see the starting formation that he has. Actually, what kind of units is this? Archers. Actually, he's taken... oh, those are pale stats, sorry. But you can see what he's done here, he's spread out some units, which forces away the carrots. This is a kind of barrier against the archers here. So what he's done, which is sort of moving again, you can always move factions, your formation. So the starting formation isn't too important, except as what you use it for. So I'm just going to ignore this guy for the moment. I'm just saying that he's got very bad formation, three rows. But here, if you look carefully, he's got 2 rows, and he's taking into account that he's got an ally here to help him protect against skirmishing. So you see, when you want to skirmish, you want to protect against all areas that a cavalry can come and kill your own archers or carrot archers. So I'm just going to pause the game here and just show you something. I'm just going to ignore this side, because normally on this side, if you look at my mouse, is very important here, because I'm going to use my mouse to explain things a lot. Is that normally you'll be attacked on all sides by cavalry. So you'll be attacked from the front, sides, anywhere. A full 360 degree is possible. Well, ignoring this area because it's an allied game. But even an allied game, if this was not an allied game, these royal pikemen will probably be stretched around more to the center. But you can see here what he's done is to have a core of Cretan archers which are in loose formation and relatively spread out. They're not all stupidly bunched together in a tight formation, but in a very tight small formation. They're relatively spread out, because if you look here, the way they're spread out, this width is around the same width as what his opponent has done. So it's not actually, well, though it is slightly less width than this guy, fellow here, very handsome fellow is, blonde. And he's got a row of Macedonian pikemen at the front, and a row of phalanx pikemen which are weaker pikemen at the rear. Now the reason why he's done this is because he wanted a stronger unit at the front, possibly to prevent rushes from the front, from own infantry, to prevent cavalry from running to the front, while weaker pikemen, which are still adequate to, because they're usually facing up against lighter cavalry, so they will be adequate enough against lighter cavalry. Obviously some people try to bring their stronger cavalry along the front, but then their own front will become weaker. So I just want to show this is how you defend Basically, this is the formation against skirmishing. Okay, you might do some silly shit like putting units on the sides. You can do that, but if you make a box, this is what we call the noob box. This isn't a noob box itself. You can say it's like half a box. But the important thing to recognize is that the noob box is called a noob box not because it's a box, but because of the user is a noob. It's a very derogative term, but it's just basically saying that the way it's using the formation is very poor. Because formation can change. You can change formation anytime you like. You click on, let's say, this unit here and move it over here because there's a cavalry flanking you around this side. Or, you know, you can place this this infantry unit to the side. If, say, for instance, that somebody uses their cavalry and threaten this side, you place more infantry on this side. So formation is a flexible thing. You change it as according to the circumstances. That's why I said that the initial formation isn't very important, except as a optimum way of putting your units at the start, and only at the start. But you want to put your units efficiently, like everybody else has done here. They put the units row of infantry, row of archers, row of cavalry. Everybody does this automatically because it'd be very pointless to, you know, to change your formation right from the start if you're just going to put in that formation anyway. So this is a very optimum formation for defending against skirmishing, defending against cavalry and archers. Sometimes people put units more to the side here, around where my mouse is, but that isn't too important. And he's also spread out his archers as well, which is very interesting. If you look carefully, he's got two layers of archers to prevent, and Scorpio SR has done the same. So hopefully these archers get hit first, but these archers, these Cretan archers being the more powerful, more long range archers, are the more important archers to defend with. So, all in all, I just want to say that this is this is a good formation for defending against a skirmishing faction, a skirmishing faction which is a cavalry and infantry based faction. It is flexible, it's strong, it's defensive. If all of a sudden Scorpio SI becomes aggressive, it's got a good line of royal pikemen, good strong infantry at the front to help defend against that instantly, to give himself more reaction time to react with. So you might say, yeah, if I play aggressively against this sort of thing, I'll have an advantage, but that isn't necessarily true. Though if this was a 1v1, I suppose you've got two approaches, which is to either kill off all the archers with your own archers and skirmishing, and hopefully have enough arrows so that eventually you have enough and kill off all the cavalry. So eventually you force the infantry into a ring and they have no archers left to spawn, and your archer will shoot the ring to death from the rear. Or the other approach is that rather than having an archer war and hoping you have enough archer ammo left, is to behave very aggressively with your own infantry and cavalry and hopefully kill off all the opposing cavalry first, and then all the light cavalry to protect your own archers, and then all the other opposing archers, and then perhaps all of your infantry will die. I'm pointing out the view of the skirmishing faction. All of your infantry may die, but whatever else survives will just simply withdraw and force the opposing infantry into a ring, because that's the only thing left, and then you happily shoot them all to death because you have saved the ammunition of your own bowmen. So this is a very good defensive formation. I'm just going to take a look at this one. It's kind of been ruined at the moment, but it's been ruined precisely because it's a very bad defensive formation. So you can see what's happened here. He's got good formation, so he's still alive. This is a bad formation, so all of his archers are getting killed. Well, they're slingers in this case, but they're still missile troops, so I'll just call them archers for the time being. Instead of splitting his units into two sections, into two rows, he's effectively got a core section, just one section as opposed to two, and he placed them into three rows. This fellow here has two sections into one row. So he's not this Carthaginian player is playing against another skirmish faction. Is effectively being out cavalried. The cavalry is killing all of his archers. So he's got one sacred band and he's fended off one of the heavy cavalry, this Pontic heavy cavalry, which is more like medium javelin cavalry. But he's put his bellow extinguishers, they're all in a bunch, they're not very well protected. If I just charge simply into them, they either have to run away or cavalry have to respond, there's no space for the infantry to respond because there's not enough frontage for them to act upon. If I came from the rear, then their archers would be forced forward. Here, if I come from the rear, these phalanx pikemen will just move sideways, and the Cretan archers can stay still. So ultimately, you just want a formation where your archers can stay still, but it is your own infantry that moves around. This is a bad formation because in effect you got a circle of infantry, you got a ball of infantry. That's no good. You want two lines of infantry to protect against skirmishing armies. And that's it. You've seen this battle, so there's not much else more to say. I suppose I just run at times 3 speed just for the hell of it. And you see that honestly the Carthaginians lose out all of their archers, whilst good defense of his archers, a defensive formation, would mean that the Egyptians will not be able to find a good way to run across. And here ends this commentary.